In 2024, Americans reported losing more than $12.5 billion to fraud. That's $2 billion more than the year before, and it made headlines everywhere. But it's the wrong number to be frightened of. Here's the right one. Of the millions of people who filed a fraud report, the share who said they actually lost money went from 27% to 38% in a single year. The number of reports barely moved. The typical loss barely moved. Same number of people getting targeted. Far more of them losing. And that should bother you because of what it implies about the advice. You already know the advice. Watch for the typos and the broken English. Don't click suspicious links. Hang up on strangers. If something feels off, trust your gut. Your bank says it. Your government says it. Somebody says it in your family group chat about twice a year. And every single word of it rests on one quiet assumption, that a scam is something you can detect, that it will look wrong, or sound wrong, or feel wrong, and that a careful person will notice. For about 20 years, that was roughly true. It is also the part that nobody has updated. Because here's the thing about those red flags. They were never actually the scam. They were the symptoms of the scam being cheap. Bad grammar meant a human being wrote it in a hurry in their second language. A strange sender address meant nobody had bothered to fake a convincing one. A clumsy website meant the whole operation was worth about $40. Every warning sign we taught people to look for was really just evidence of a low budget. And that budget problem has been solved. Text that's clean, personal, and fluent costs nothing to generate now. Phone numbers get spoofed, so your screen says it's your bank. Login pages get cloned pixel for pixel. And the shape of the thing changed too. The biggest money isn't the panicked email demanding gift cards anymore. It's the patient one. In 2024, the typical investment scam took a median of $9,196 from each person who lost money. The typical imposter scam took $800. Investment scams aren't a moment of bad judgment. They're a relationship built over weeks by someone who is kind to you. There's no typo to catch. So look at what the federal data actually shows, because three numbers move together, and the pattern is unmistakable. Number 1, fraud reports. 2023, about 2.5 million. 2024, 2.6 million. Essentially flat. Number 2, the median loss. The typical hit taken by a person who lost money. $500 in 2023. $497 in 2024. Also flat. And yet total losses climbed by $2 billion. So if the same number of people were targeted and each victim lost about the same amount, where did $2 billion come from? Only one thing left that can move: the share of targeted people who ended up losing anything at all. 27%, then 38%. That is the entire story. Not more attacks, not bigger individual hits, just a much higher hit rate. The attempts got better at working. And the second stereotype falls in the same data set. Ask anyone who gets scammed and they'll describe somebody's grandmother. But people aged 20 to 29 reported losing money in 44% of their fraud reports. For people aged 70 to 79, it was 24%. Younger adults lose money nearly twice as often. What flips is the size. When somebody in their 70s does lose, the median is $1,000, and for people over 80, it's $1,650, against $417 for the 20-somethings. Young people get taken more often. Older people get taken for more. And the group most convinced it would never happen to them is the one with the highest hit rate, which means the standard advice isn't just incomplete, it's aimed at the wrong thing. If detection is what's failing, then being more alert cannot be the plan. You can't outsquint an attack that was engineered to look completely legitimate. What actually survives is anything that still protects you after you've already been fooled. So, verify out of band. Whatever the message says, hang up and call the number printed on the back of your own card. Treat urgency itself as the signal, not the story, the pressure. Any real institution can wait 10 minutes. A scam cannot. Nobody legitimate will ever ask you to move money to a safe account. That sentence is the scam, every time. Freeze your credit and treat any investment opportunity that arrives uninvited as fraud until proven otherwise, because that's where nearly half the money goes. 2 honest notes: these are only the losses people reported, so the true totals are certainly higher. And a rising share losing money can partly reflect who bothers to file a report, which is exactly why the flat median loss matters so much. It's the corroborating detail that keeps this from being a story about paperwork. For 20 years, we told people that if they were just careful enough, they'd see it coming. 38% of the people who filed a report were careful and didn't. So stop grading yourself on whether you can spot it. That was never a fair test, and it's getting less fair every year. Build the habits that hold up on the day you're completely convinced, because that's the day the good ones arrive.